Well, I'm joined now by the Deputy National Chairman of the Labour Party, Olorunfemi, and Arise analyst Dr. Sam Amadi is in our off-site studio. Thank you, both of you gentlemen, for joining us. Let me start with you, Dr. Olorunfemi. I mean, with the Labour Party now having a new 29-member National Caretaker Committee, it looks like the Labour Party might be charting a new course for itself, and it's not a party that's about to fall off the precipice, as some have, described the party until today.
Well, what you saw in that video is an operation of people, what to call them, hypocrites, people who love playing to the gallery.
Peter Obi, Ahmed Datti, and some others that might be described as stars of the Labour Party.
These are people we accommodated. They were out there in the sun, in the rain. We accommodated them just a few years ago. How many years ago? 2 years ago? Some of them are not even yet registered member. Like the Nigerian we are talking about. He's not a registered member of the party in his ward, in our ward.
Nenadi Usman.
Yeah, Nenadi Usman. The national secretary of this party is from Kaduna State. And we have it on good authority. We have to check. Requested for the register of Labour Party in her ward, and her name is not there. And she has not been contributing to the ward. Neither has she been contributing to the state. Those who are calling themselves leaders, you earn leadership. In this constitution, there's no provision for anybody called leader. What we give you is an opportunity, real opportunity, which you earn through your activities within the party.
But some would argue with that. I mean, many believe that if it were not for Peter Obi and Datti, Ahmed and the rest, Labour Party may not even be in contention.
That is your assumption.
Not my assumption.
Yeah, that is the assumption of some, but
right.
That is an overrated thing. Let me tell you, there are millions of people in Nigeria, million of Peter Obi, million of Datti, million of anybody. Nobody should overrate himself or herself. Nigeria is looking for people who will deliver them, not hypocrites and not people that play to the gallery.
Who are the people in the Labour Party that will deliver Nigerians?
Well, we have, recall, we have NEC made up of chairman and secretary and 16 or 17 members in each state of the federation. Labour Party is not empty and there's no vacuum. And meanwhile, let me also tell you that any organization that want to continue to exist must exist via its own law and must be ready to obey its rules. Peter, Alex Oti is not empowered by this constitution to call any meeting, and there's nothing like stakeholder meeting in the constitution of the party.
Yeah, but it looks like to Alex Oti and those who gathered in Abia State,
do you know how many?
The Labour Party has been rudderless for a while. With the Abure, some are even saying that Julius Abure, the factional chairman, as some would describe, has been the problem of the party.
From what you have seen now,
from what you have seen,
you have seen those who are fueling the crisis that you have been seeing all this year. All these months.
Who are those?
The people the people who summoned this meeting were the people that have been fueling the crisis in the Labour Party. That is just the truth, and they just manifested themselves. And we are going to deal with this via our rule. The constitution is supreme, is the grand norm of the party. You can't, no matter who you are not greater than this constitution.
Well, this constitution that you talk about, I mean, you heard some of the respondents there say, look, Abure has been going against what the constitution of the party itself says. Number one, they say they reeled out some of his sins. No elected officials at the ward, local and state, levels. I mean, he only appointed leaders of the party across the country, contrary to the Labour Party, constitution.
What is the
you
proof?
Are citing.
What is the proof? Have they presented any proof?
Do you have officials?
We have officials.
I
just mentioned to you. Okay, let me give you Ondo State. In all the wards in Ondo State, we have our executive in place. At the state level, we have our executive in place.
How were they put in place? Were they appointed?
They were elected, and they have the ward, local government, and state congresses. Of course, they have different tenure.
All right.
So we have different tenure, and of course, in order to put all of these things behind that,
my sincere apologies. Let me very quickly bring in Dr. Sam Amadi. Before I forget that he's there in the offside studio. 1,000 apologies to you, Dr. Sam Amadi. First, let me get your thoughts on this goings on in the Labour Party. Alex Oti's intervention in Abia State there, where Peter Obi, Datti, and all of them have come together, to come up with this caretaker committee, 29-member.
Well, I think it's very clear. If a party leader, and by the way, my friend, the deputy with you at the studio, we had an offside before we came. If a party disowns this array of its members, there's something wrong. And in May 29, I think, they invited me to give a keynote at the Labour Party, Abuja. He was there. I had a meeting with him privately before I spoke. And I told them that the Labour Party is useful because Nigerians consider it useful. The Labour Party is not useful because of Abure or my friend there who is the TUC leader. It's useful because Nigerians find it useful. So it's pathetic that, and it's common among these small parties. Let me put it this way. I tell people that unfortunately, ironically, the bigger parties who we see as dysfunctional are better managed by the smaller ones. So if you have a crisis in PDP or APC, you would see the leadership of that party think broadly around win-win. The pie is expanded. So you could have we've seen APC have their chairman step aside several times. We saw Adam Oshomola, we saw this, we saw even the Nasarawa former governor volunteered when he saw that the pressure of stakeholders. And here is a party that tells you who is stakeholder. So the only people who own this party and who the party matters for is my good friend Abure and the rest of that people. That does not speak to a sense of mission or purpose. So it's ironic that the parties that are supposed to be opposition, that are supposed to be different, are actually worse. Now, come to the point. Governor Oti is a NEC member as he concedes. And the issue here is very simple. Abure, in as much as they are struggling to keep this power, have no personal capabilities and moral prestige to now inside themselves. The issue with INEC, the Congress in Nnewi, for example, and I spoke with him about that. I mean, a party the moral burden is that you can't just gather yourself together and anoint yourself as leaders for the next 4 years. And I have this personal conversation with Abure because I'm pro-Labour, I'm pro-comrades, I'm pro-everybody. They come to me and I say, look, you just have to admit that you just can't be the chairman with court orders, with several issues, with even some purported true or false expulsion from your zone. At a point, you begin to think more strategic and say, look, this can't fly. We saw this party again before even Peter Obi came in. He had over 20 lawsuits. Labour has been like that. When Mimiko was there, Mimiko was the leader. At a point, he has to leave. Dan Wanyango has to form his own franchise. The problem really is that these small parties seem to have small minds. The leadership seem to be persons who dig in because basically they can't see a bigger horizon. They can't see that these parties could be vehicle for transformation. And they confuse themselves that the electoral fortune that Peter Obi largely, it would be dumb for anybody to think that Labour Party, SDP was far ahead of Labour Party, even Zenith Labour Party was. Peter Obi and those who came with him and the obedience and all the people who felt there was need for change gave this party oxygen. And so if the other people want to keep a franchise and can't see the bigger picture of this stakeholder, look, let's even don't look at the constitution for the first time. If you're going to see the array of all your governors, the Lagos State candidate, the Plateau, all these people, and they are here, the National Assembly members of your party,
right,
and you dispense all this.
If I may come in very quickly, Dr. Sam Amadi, let me stay with you. Now, with this National Caretaker Committee that's been set up by Alex Oti, Peter Obi, and the rest of them, do you think that the Labour Party stands a chance to get back on its feet? Or, with this contention continuing, could it just be the beginning of the end for the Labour Party? And what would that mean going forward for the whole vision of Peter Obi and the rest?
I think that my friend Abura and others will keep on fighting this battle. But again, Nanadi Usman, experienced, intelligent, smart person, with that team, with all the stakeholders, they can go and build a party, which means ideological clarity. This is a government that is struggling. The opposition party should be coherent in ideas. Now, since this last 1 year, what has the Labour Party really done? So this is an opportunity for Labour Party to do something. I was touted to be the chairman of the Labour Party Electoral Commission by Abure, and I told him flat on that the party has no credibility to mount a national mission right now. So the first point is to recreate the Labour Party, create an alternative platform. And so I think Nadi shouldn't focus too much on preparing themselves for 2027. I mean, there's a temptation to now say, okay, Imo, you go and look for PDP dropout or APC dropout, fix it there, Lagos. That's not what the party should be. This opportunity now to create a real alternative platform in terms of coherence, vision, organization, structure, even constitution, so that party membership and process of election and association is clear. I mean, look at the Labour Party. You don't even have a Congress. And I was telling him, you have leaders emerge, no Congress, even their constitution has no provision on how a Congress will be conducted. So I think that this is now time to be the party, if they really want Labour Party to be a vehicle for transformation. And none of this man is at the point experience, but beyond experience, they have to get out this PDP, APC mentality of just say, okay, we get this party, we struggle for the next election, we put our person. That's not the point now. The point now is to harness and harvest and institutionalize this goodwill and bring a party. Nigerians are crying for alternative. Labour Party has been a disgrace so far.
Which is, well, very strong words. Dr. Olorunfemi, you heard him there. You heard Dr. Sam Amadi say, look, it's looking like the Labour Party might be missing an opportunity to provide that alternative that Nigerians have been yearning for.
Well, that is his opinion. If care is
not taken.
That is his opinion.
Why is Abure insisting on being the cog in the wheel of progress of the party?
Now, I give you. He mentioned the case of PDP, APC, the kind of turnover in terms of leadership turnover. But in turning over, they won't call the chairman a thief. They won't call him a forger. After sacrificing so much in putting the party where it is today.
Yeah, who called the chairman
Of course, that is part of what he's saying. Those are some of the things that were sponsored into the media. That Abure forged signatures. Abure embezzled money. This is an Abure and the NWC that were not involved in the management of campaign and election.
Has Abure cleared himself of all these
Of course. Is he in any court? Is he under any investigation? The answer is no. They just wanted to use that to hold him down. And I said, we will not sit down there.
The last time I checked, he was in court.
Of course, no, for different thing. For different thing, not on criminal charges. Are you with me?
But don't you think it's become a kind of burden on the party, on the Labour Party?
If he decides to leave on that note, he will be destroying his image and the image of the party that we built. And of course, people who use that strategy to get to that place will be worse. If you say Abure is a thief today, then some of them could be bandit from the approach that we have seen.
But when you have people like Peter Obi backing off from Abure, Datti has backed off from him. As a matter of fact, you heard Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a very vocal member of the Labour Party, saying Abure himself is a problem of the party.
Well, why is he a problem of the party? Have they been able to charge him to court? If Abure is a thief, have you been able to charge him to court? Why is it in this country you tell lie, destroy people based on emotions and sentiment, and you want that person to carry that baggage and walk away? That is the reason why the country is not moving forward. That is the reason why we are not developing as a nation. Because we believe in destroying things, muslinging, and of course, blackmailing, and of course, which other word can I use? And of course, the more you do this, the more there is, the way what goes around comes around. Whatever you do to A, be expecting that worst of that will come against you.
Yeah, but is that really what is at the core of
the
issues?
major reason of this?
Yeah,
I can tell you for free that the soul of the party is about to be hijacked. And this is a party that is built on ideology. Don't forget that this party, abhorred the removal of subsidy. But our presidential candidate that time mentioned that he was going to remove subsidy. We kicked against it. That is an issue that is still paining to some of us.
Yeah, but
because this is what we believe.
The other candidates said
all other candidates may do so,
yeah.
not Labour Party. Because we have, you show something, you call it artisanal refinery. I said instead of by our own position. Instead of criminalizing those guys in the creek, bring them together, use their intellect. Look their ingenuity. Let's build on it. Train them and let them solve our problems. But you know, it is deliberate that refineries will not work. Now that you are having a refinery, I mean, you are having Dangote refinery coming up, okay? But before coming up, the price of petroleum product has gone up, and that is the price that is comfortable for them. Okay, so as Labour Party, Workers' Party, we will not allow people of capitalist agenda to take over the party. Of course, you can come in, we can give you new orientation, our orientation. Accepting the orientation is one thing. Once you accept the orientation,
did you give Peter Obi that reorientation? When he always said, look, want from a consumer economy to a productive one.
Well,
was there anything wrong with that philosophy?
Labor in itself is about production. Of course, it's about production.
Aligned with Peter Obi's...
he aligned with that. But saying that he will remove subsidy give us a lot of concern. Of course.
But he didn't exactly say when, and I'm not even trying to defend anybody here.
Let's leave that.
But the thing is, look, you heard Peter Obi there say at that meeting, at that stakeholders meeting, that look, we're not here to suspend anyone, we're not here to, castigate anybody. Is the Julius Abure side of the party willing to accept the olive branch if it is extended?
Oh, if it is coming sincerely, why is it? We are human beings. We are bound to quarrel. We can also sit down to look at our issue objectively. You cannot suppress me into agreeing in dispute resolution. You must validate my story. While I validate your story, then you must also understand my identity. While I accept your identity. That is how to get to yes. In this case, there is a court ruling on this matter. What date? July 2024. About the convention, validating the convention that was held. How can you
even when the electoral umpire INEC did not attend and actually rejected the outcome of that?
The judgment say INEC don't have to attend. INEC don't have to attend.
Okay, let me very quickly bring in.
And that is what the electoral has said.
We have barely 2 minutes. Dr. Sam Amadi, let's get your take here. Way forward for the Labour Party, is there a possibility that this party can, considering that there's an election in Edo State and of course Ondo, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And the Labour Party has to go into this election strong, but it's not looking strong now, is it?
Yeah, sure. But look, two things. Abure is not a thief. And Abure worked actually very hard. And Abure supported Mr. Peter Obi very well. So for me, my sympathy, my heart is with Abure. The point is beyond whether I thief or not, and that's the point. The point is that Abure is now held back by his team who want to be in power. It's about being in power. And I've told Abure this clearly. Look, there's no way you can be the chairman of this party for the next 4 years. It's not doable. And there was this issue about all-inclusive Congress. Go and do it. But the problem is that, look, I said before, not just about the Labour Party or the parties. Look at the leadership. They never change. They never change because it's about the economic benefit of being in power. There's no dispute ideological between Abure and this group. In fact, Peter Obi, from the media and the governor, we are the strongest supporter of Abure. And they even annoyed somebody like Okonkwo threatened to leave the party. Why? Because he felt that Peter Obi them continue to support Abure. And so I thought at this point that Abure would have said, okay, look, they have tried for me. But there's a fact here that even INEC says that this tenure is over, and people are saying it's over. The question I'm asking is, how do you carry this Labour Party with losing all the representatives, all the stakeholders, and say they don't understand? No, that's not the point. People were on the same bed, whether they are ideological committed or not. You were together up until now. It's a simple question that my friend of the studio there, Abure, all the members of the ESCO, don't want to lose their job. And not losing their job is making the party to fail drastically. Election in Edo will go ahead. Akpata is campaigning, whether he wins or not, I don't know. Of course, the party has no capacity and it's not supporting. You can see that the campaign in Edo is withering away or slowing down because you need a party that's coherent, a party that's organized. And that's what, it's a win-win. But these guys, so I think there should be olive branch, and maybe if they respect them, affirm them, like I said, if they respect Abure and affirm Abure, they can have a win-win here.
Okay, there can be a win-win. It's a positive note to end the conversation tonight. Thank you very much, Dr. Sam Amadi, a Rise analyst, and Dr. Ayo Olorunfemi, Deputy National Chairman, the Labour Party, and governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Ondo State.